For millions of people throughout the world, the land offers shelter, fuel and food. But in Galahitya in southwest Sri Lanka and thousands of villages like it, the people themselves are destroying the very land on which their lives depend. These people have no income. They live off the land. The quickest way for them to grow food is to cut down trees and burn shrubs, which makes the land fertile for a while. But when the rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the land will be useless for the next 20 years. But for these people, there is hope. For one man is trying to put a stop to this destruction.
I came to Galahitya 4 years ago when the headman here sent for me to build a temple. And that was my intention. But when I arrived, I had to change my plans. I saw with my own eyes the deprivation and the helplessness of the people. I thought then building the village should be my first task. Building a temple would have to wait. It was proved to me beyond any doubt that the struggle to improve the land was a struggle between life and death.
Reverend Pranyasekara comes from a village close by. His new home, Galahitya, is an isolated strip of land surrounded by rivers. But you can hardly call it a village. The houses are barely visible. In fact, there are several hundred families living here, but most of them are squatters without land of their own. The people here live illegally by burning the forest, clearing the land, and cultivating quick-growing crops. It's called chena cultivation. It's their only option. And when the land becomes useless, the settlers move on to another place and do the same again. It's farming on the run. They use the land and then discard it at their peril.
මම පහුගිය දවස්වල මේ අපේ පස්දුම් කෝරළේ ලොකුම නායෑමක් සිද්ධ වෙච්ච
Recently, I visited a village close by where a huge landslide had taken place.
සිදු වෙලා තිබිච්ච මරණ
I saw the collapsed mountains.
කඩා වැටුණු හැටි
I saw the people who had died.
ගෙදර පොඩි
I saw little children, their father, mother, grandmother and grandfather all crushed to death, embracing each other.
හිතට දැනුනේ ලොකු වේදනාවක්.
Seeing all this was very painful. With that pain, I felt anger too at those who are responsible for the protection of the environment in not doing their job properly.
හරි හැටි වැඩ කරලා නැති එක ගැන.
I know that if we continue to allow this damage to our environment, the mountains around Galahitya will also collapse and cause landslides.
හරසින්ඥය මේ ඉඩම පරිස්සම් කරගන්න වවන්න ඕන.
This man Chalosinho has 3 children. Before the family came to this area, they were living in a village close by. There, they did not have enough land to share among the relatives. So, Chalosinho decided to come and start a chena here on government land.
හරි. ඉතින් මේ පස්තික තියා නොගත්තොත් රජයේ ආධාර ගත්තත් අපට වවන්න ඉඩක් හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මේ පොළවේ මොනවා හරි ගහක මුලක් හිටින්න නම් පොළවේ පස් තට්ටුව තියෙන්න ඕන. මේ ඔක්කොම එක දිගට ඇලට දොලට ගඟට ගිහිල්ලා ගම් වතුරත් හැදෙන්නේ මේ පොළවේ පස් ටික නැති වෙනකොට.
අනිසාද මේ අපට බලපත්‍රයක් කරන් තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? බලපත්‍රය අපිට ජීවත් වෙන්න දෙන්නේ. ළමයි අපිට ඉන්නේ බොහොම අමාරු ජීවත්.
හරි. ඉතින් දිසාපතිතුමාගෙන් අවසර අරන් දෙන්න.
Like all the settlers, Chalosinho lives in fear of eviction. He does not want to be a squatter on government property. But only if he gets land rights will he be able to stop practicing chena cultivation. With this security, he will start to care for the land and be able to develop stable, long-term cultivation and have a decent life. Now, this letter and all the others I write for the settlers is to the government agent in Kalutara to ask for land rights for them. All of our work to improve Galahitya depends on this.
මේ ලියවිල්ල හැදුවාම කොහොමරි අයිතියක් හම්බ වෙනවා. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්නකො මේ ලියමන දීලා ඉවරයි. පදිංචි වී ගොවිතැන් කරන මේට යටහත් වනාවරණය නැතිවීම දුප්පත්කම ඉඩම් වලින් කිසිම
Scarcity of forested land, poverty, lack of proper income from the land, health problems, flood hazards. People living in this village are being ground down by such problems.
භයානකම දේ තමයි
But most dangerous of all are the wrong agricultural methods used by these people, causing the destruction of the land with their own hands.
තමන්ගේ අතින්ම විනාශ කිරීමේ යෙදී සිටීම. මෙතන කැල්ලා ගිහින්
In 1985, after 2 years of trying, the monks succeeded in securing land rights for about 100 families. Those legally settled have since stopped chena burning. This farmer, Gunapala, is one of the lucky ones. Instead of scraping a living from the land, he can now feed his family and has enough left over to sell at the market. Gunapala has worked hard developing the land, and he's now entitled to government subsidies for growing certain crops. The monk has also encouraged him to plant more trees for building and for fuel. It's the monk's ambition to improve the standard of living of all the settlers to match that of Gunapala. It's only with land rights that the settlers feel secure enough to make improvements. But there are still over 100 families in the village without them. Reverend Pranyasekara has one big advantage. As a Buddhist monk, he's automatically respected wherever he goes.
When you look at the monk, he looks very calm, pious and serene. But I can tell you he is not. He is very, very pushy and a very good politician. He gets his way through. Everything he wants, he gets it done. To the extent that he might even come to your doorstep at 5 o'clock in the morning and wake you up and tell him this has to be done. Forever he is trying to convert others to follow his path.
I began to wonder what could be done with a devastated environment on the one hand and an energetic workforce on the other. These people are very poor and they have been given little help. Even though they are poorly educated, they have a strong will to build a better life, a new life for themselves. Up until I intervened, none of the welfare organizations knew about the village. And I, being closest to the villagers' lives, thought it my responsibility to help them. I thought I should play the role of the middleman between them and the institutions. There are many government departments and many people to see in the town. It's not easy for the villagers. They are very isolated. Even the headman has not been to the town of Kalutara for 5 years. So I have put on paper in great detail all our requirements.
දැන් මහත්තයා හරි වැදගත්ම කාරණයක් සම්පූර්ණ වෙලා තිබෙනවා. මේ මොල්කාවේ ගලහිටිය විශේෂ සංවර්ධන ව්‍යාපෘතිය කියලා වාර්තාව හදලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මේක ඉල්ලා සිටින කොස්වාම මූලික කාරණයක් කියලා තියෙනවා අපට දැනට ගමින් ඔක්කොම පදිංචි කරවන්නට ඉඩම් බලපත්‍ර ලැබිලා නැතිකම. ඒ නැති නිසාම මම මහත්තයාට ලියුම් කීපයක්ම ලිව්වා ඒ දවස්වල මේ ඒවා සම්පූර්ණ කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා දිසාපති කාර්යාලයට. ඒකට ඒ ලියන වෙලාවෙදිත් මම නිතරම මතක් කළේ ඔක්කොම ඉඩම් හැදුවේ නැත්නම් මේ බලපත්‍ර ලබා දුන්නේ නැතිනම් වවන්න බෑ කියන එක. ඉතින් අපේ අරමුණ ගලහිටිය සංවර්ධන වැඩපිළිවෙල මුළු රටටම ආදර්ශමත් වැඩපිළිවෙලක් හැටියට සකස් කිරීම. මහත්තයාට මතකද අපේ ලොකුන් නැහැ මේ ගමේ කරණම පදිංචිකාරයා.
නැන්නම් පරිවක් එදි අපට දුන්නේ නැහැ. අනේ මේ දුන්නා කියලා ඔවා කියනවා ඒක පසුබෑලා තියෙනවා. සම්පූර්ණ ස්ථිර වුණොත් පසුබෑලා නැහැ.
සියලුම බලතල තියෙන්නේ ආණ්ඩුවේ නිලධාරි මහත්තුරුන්ට.
Sometimes the things we try to do with government officials have never passed beyond the stage of talk, documents and correspondence. This time we have to make sure action is taken.
එතකොට ඒ ඉඳන් කලා දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේද එහෙම නැත්නම් දිසාපතිසතු ඉදන්ද කියලා අපි තේරුම් කරගත්තන් පස්සේ ඉදන් කට්ටියක් පාතල ඒගොල්ලෝගේ සූසුකම් බලලා දෙන්න සූසුකම් තියෙනවා ඕන්ට බලපත් ඉක්මනින්ම දෙන්න.
As my letters pile up in the registry and I keep turning up, the government agent will begin to think, I must somehow get over this and have some peace. I must settle these people's land rights soon. At least this is what I hope. To honor the Buddha, we must have a proper environment. The Buddha was born under a bo tree like this one and passed away under one. It was in forests and groves that the Buddha found the peace for meditation. Here in Galahitya, we will create a similar environment before we build a proper temple, like the temple at which I was ordained. Once, it is said, Lord Buddha was visiting a wealthy merchant's house. On the same day, a poor peasant was roaming the village. This man crept into the garden, hungry and weary, to listen to the Buddha's sermon. The Buddha noticed the poor man and thought, this man is starving, and a starving man will not be able to concentrate on my sermon. So the Buddha sent his own plate to the peasant, and only then did he preach. In this way, I decided my first job had to be to help the people in Galahitya to earn a decent living. I told the people we must build a road and put an end to our isolation. If we are going to do better, we need politicians and officials to help us, and they will not come unless there is a road for them to drive on. We began the road at the far end of the village because I know what people are like. There is always the chance they will lose interest when the road is completed outside their house.
The monk is involved in Galahitya in a small local community-based program. Very many people will consider such programs as ineffective and unimportant. But the fact is that these are the programs that will succeed in the long term. Many programs that are implemented or imposed are too uniform. They do not take into consideration the differences. The environment is different, the people are different, and therefore these programs often fail. The monk has realized this, and he has got hold of the people in the area and developed a program in which the main actors are the people.
There is still no news from the government agent. I hope they have not forgotten us. All our plans are for the children, so that they can live in harmony with the environment. I particularly make sure I get our children involved in all our work. By doing this, I train the young generation to do exactly the opposite of what their fathers have been doing. The older generation destroyed the forests. Now the young generation is going to recreate these forests by planting trees on exactly the same spots where their fathers have been cutting them down. Galahitya used to be a part of a great forest, the Singharaja. Today, only a few scattered woods can be found around Galahitya, and Singharaja forest stands alone 50 miles away. It's a place I most love to visit. Even when I'm away, I think of Galahitya and the poor conditions there. Galahitya used to look like this. For me, destruction of trees and plant life amounts to the destruction of life itself. When you burn trees, you also destroy the nests of birds and insects and all the animal life. Moreover, I know that the burning of trees and destruction of forests are an important factor in causing floods and jeopardizing the livelihood of the villagers. That's why it has to be stopped.
The monk frequently makes journeys away from Galahitya, to the towns to lobby politicians and officials, and to the villages to encourage the people to think about their environment and plan for the future. He shows the local people how they can make a sustained living from the land. The older villagers are usually more fixed in their ways, and it is to the children that he directs his attention.
ඉතින් මේ මම අහපු ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ මේ පැලේ දැන් මම යෝජනා කරන්නේ හිටවන්න ඕනේ කියලා අලුතෙන්. වතුරෙක් ගෙන්.
Nothing can be carried out unless there is effective leadership. The Singharaja Protection Society is only 6 months old. It is still young. But I hope some concrete plans will come out from the youth here today. My deep involvement with community work has made me neglect my religious activities, such as attending ceremonies and visiting people to chant periods. I must confess, I see signs of failure on my part as a Buddhist monk. More and more, people see me as a social worker rather than the local priest. People come to see me not for religious purposes, but to get advice on planting or cutting a road or settling land rights. I do not regret this.
Using the new road, the local MP has come to Galahitya. A year and a half after the first villagers received their land rights, Reverend Pranyasekara was informed that the government registry had come to a decision. Thanks to the monks' determined efforts, and it is hard to say no to a monk, they had made Galahitya a priority and investigated the claims of a further 115 requests. The MP is about to announce the names of the new landowners. Neither the monk nor the villagers know who will be included. Chalosino waits along with the rest.
අගලවත් මහජන මන්ත්‍රී මෙරිල් කාර්යවසම් මහත්මයා මේ ස්ථානයට අද පැමිණුනේ හුඟක්ම අපහසුකම් යටතේ දැන් මන්ත්‍රීතුමාගේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශයකුත් සමග ඊට පසු ඉඩම් බලපත්‍ර ප්‍රදානය කිරීමේ අවස්ථාවයි.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ප්‍රිය දෝතුනි විදේශිකයන් පැමිණි මහතුරු කීප දෙනෙක් පින්තූර ගත්තට අපි අද විතර ගෙනියන්නේ ව්‍යාජයක්වත් බොරුවක්වත් මායාවක්වත් නෙවෙයි. මේ වගේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ කෙනෙක් ඉදිරියට වුණාම අපි එතුමත් එක්ක උන්වහන්සේත් එක්ක ගිහිල්ලා ඒ වැඩ ඉක්මන් කරගන්නවා. උපසවතුමාට කියලා ඉක්මන් කරන්න කියලා අර මහතුරුන් කියනවා සපතුමාට කියනවා. ඒ අදිවාසීන් කෙසේ හෝ තමුන්නාසලා කරේ භාග්‍යයක් ළඟා වුණා.
මොකද ගමගේ දොන චලෝසින්න ඉස්සරහින් ඉන්නේ. ඉතාලගේ ඇඩ්මින් ඇස්තිලා ඉන්නේ.
Some people say I should have been a politician. But I say a politician only has influence for the 7 years or so he is in power. But a monk has power from the day he is ordained till the day he dies. A dozen or so families have been disappointed and will still have to wait. They will carry on the old ways, destroying the land for a little longer. But for Chalosinho, the waiting is over. This is the first time in his life that he has owned something. For him, it is a beginning.
තව අවුරුදු 25කින් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඊට
In another 25 years, this village will be richer and people will have more money in their hands. Plants and trees will grow on their lands. Houses will emerge. Children will be literate. Only then will the people in Galahitya have the strength to build a proper temple. Since I came to Galahitya, we have grown nearly 6,000 trees. The fields around here often get flooded. Then the children cannot go to school. Paddy fields come under water and the villages become refugees. The source of the problem lies here on the hillsides where the lack of trees is the culprit. When these trees are grown, there will no longer be a problem.
The success of this development program, its sustainability will depend on the people in the area because the priest is not going to be here forever. And I think it will work because the monk has given them all the knowledge, he has motivated the people, he has even made them participate in the program, and therefore it has to become successful in the future.
Today is full moon in the month of May. It is Vesak, the day of the birth, the day of the enlightenment, and the day of the death of the Buddha. But Vesak has more than its religious significance. Vesak is a day when people think in a community spirit. And this year, with land rights, we have much to celebrate. In a sense, I'm waging a battle against the destruction of the land. I shall show others how to win this battle. I'm constructing Galahitya as an example to the whole community. And if we can make a few hundred people work like we do, then we can make Sri Lanka an example to the whole world. I suppose I have achieved about 5%. But with land rights, there is every hope for the future. Today, these settlers live a little better. They used to live in a land of darkness, in isolation. But now, they have a plan to work for. They are gaining the confidence that they are moving towards something new.
Be happy, be successful, get married, have children, lead a pretty normal kind of life. And I've had a good try. I've explored many different things. I remember putting